Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of Body Gist. In this edition, we want to look at irregular menstrual cycles. How do you know you have an irregular menstrual cycle? I've heard some people complain that their pattern of flow or the pattern of their menstrual cycle does not come regularly. This is an irregular menstrual cycle. First, it is good to know that the normal menstrual cycle, the average length is 5 days, so you can experience it between 2 to 7 days or 2 to 5 days. So if it exceeds this number, these days, it means that you have an irregular menstrual cycle. If you have a menstrual cycle, if you have calculated your menstrual cycle and it is less than 21 days, and this 21 days or less than 21 days is more frequent from your calculation, it means that you have an irregular menstrual cycle. If you have also calculated your menstrual cycle and you see that you have a menstrual cycle length which is greater than 35 days and it is frequent, you experience it frequently, you have an irregular menstrual cycle. If you also experience a heavy flow, this is called polymenorrhea. That is, the flow comes more frequently and it is heavy, it is an irregular menstrual cycle. If you also experience a light flow and you experience it more frequently, all these are irregular menstrual cycle. What causes an irregular menstrual cycle, you may want to know? Then do not forget to stay subscribed and watch this video to the end. I am Sister Ozo Augusta, a sister of St. I'm also a nurse midwife. Do not forget to follow us on all our other platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. I say thank you to all our returning subscribers. Do not go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Menstrual irregularities make women not to know how to calculate effectively their menstrual cycles because, of course, their menstrual cycle pattern is not regular. If a woman has calculated her menstrual cycle pattern and she knows her shortest menstrual cycle length and her longest menstrual cycle length, and if the days between the shortest cycle length and the longest cycle length is greater than 20 days, that woman too has an irregular menstrual cycle. So what are the causes of menstrual irregularities? The first is pregnancy. If a woman has taken in and she's pregnant, the hormones released by her body will not be hormones that maintain pregnancy, not hormone that causes either menstruation or ovulation. So during the period of her pregnancy, she's not going to be ovulating or menstruating, so she would experience menstrual irregularity. Second, breastfeeding. Once breastfeeding is established, the hormone prolactin takes over. The hormone prolactin causes a cessation or a stop in ovulation and subsequently menstruation. So a woman who is breastfeeding, most especially if she's breastfeeding exclusively, she won't experience ovulation or menstruation, which will lead to menstrual irregularity. Third, we have premenopause. Menopause is a time when there is a cessation in production of hormones that causes menstruation and ovulation. So the period before this time, there will be a gradual decline in the production of these hormones. So at this particular period in time, during the premenopause stage, for women who have attained the age of 40 or 45 or close to 50 years, they will start experiencing these premenopausal syndromes. Of course, one of it is that their menstrual cycle days will no longer be regular. Young girls who have just begun their menstrual cycle might experience menstrual irregularities. I'd like to tell you that this appears natural. It is known as the natural hormonal changes or natural hormonal imbalance. This is because at this age, your body is still trying to find a balance to maintain a pattern of menstrual cycle it should follow. So you would experience that menstrual irregularities because you are just starting your menstrual cycle pattern. Another cause of menstrual irregularity might be in women who have fluctuations in weight. Either you are having a rapid increase in weight loss or a rapid increase in weight gain, because the body is still trying to find a balance, so it can lead or predispose the woman to menstrual irregularities. Another thing you might want to check out if you are having menstrual irregularity is that, what are your stress levels? Do you know that stress can predispose you to menstrual irregularity? Now, this is what happens. During stressful condition, the hormone cortisol is released. And what is the function of the hormone cortisol? The hormone cortisol is the hormone that we know as flight or fight hormone, because it shifts your body to survival mode. It will make your body to adapt to that condition. That is why when you are stressed up, you see that you are breathing fast, your heart rate is pumping faster. It will even pump more blood to your muscles to enable your muscles work very well. As it's doing all this, it is also sending message to the brain: don't release the hormones that are responsible for menstruation and ovulation. And what are the hormones? Estrogen and progesterone. So that's what the hormone cortisol does. And in repeated stressful events, it means that the hormone estrogen and progesterone won't be released as a message that is sent to the brain, so it can cause menstrual irregularity. So if you're experiencing menstrual irregularity, check whether you're experiencing also stressful events and conditions that is already predisposing you to having menstrual irregularities. Hormonal imbalance is also a cause of menstrual irregularity. An imbalance in the hormones that causes either menstruation or ovulation will cause menstrual irregularity. Let us look at some of these hormones that help in menstruation and ovulation. The first is follicle stimulating hormone. What is the function of the follicle stimulating hormone? It is the hormone that helps in maturation of the follicles and causing the ova or the ovum to be matured. Then you have the luteinizing hormone, whose function is to cause ovulation, that is, release of this matured ovum from the ovary. Then you have the estrogen. Estrogen ensures that the lining of the uterus is thickened to receive an ova or ovum if it is fertilized. Then you have progesterone, which makes implantation suitable for the fertilized ovum or ova. So an imbalance in any of these hormones will automatically lead to an irregularity and causing a menstrual irregularity. So a woman who has an imbalance in any of these hormones will experience frequently hormonal imbalance, and the woman also experience frequently menstrual irregularities. If you are experiencing menstrual irregularity, you might want to check if you are using a birth control pill at the particular point in time, because birth control pills alters the normal function in the ovary and the uterus. What birth control pills does is that they suppress ovulation. Remember, we have talked about luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Birth control pills suppresses the release of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, making these two hormones not to be released and causing irregularity. It means that once these two hormones are not released, their functions are not going to take place in the ovaries and the uterus. Of course, there will be menstrual irregularity. Birth control pills also causes thickening of the cervical mucus. Of course, the thickening of the cervical mucus will cause a change. They cause changes generally in the uterus and in the ovary. So any woman who is using a birth control pill will experience menstrual irregularity because of these functions of birth control pills. Then, if you have an infection, pelvic inflammatory diseases can predispose a woman to menstrual irregularities because of the function of the microorganisms. They can travel down to the ovary and in the uterus and alter the functions of the ovary and cause a woman to experience menstrual irregularities. So if you are experiencing menstrual irregularities, rule out that you do not have a pelvic inflammatory disease, and also rule out that you are not using any birth control pill at that particular point in time. Genetic conditions can also predispose a woman to menstrual irregularity, such as double uterus. Women who have double uterus might not even know they have this condition. They might be experiencing menstrual irregularity. This double uterus might mean that at a particular point in time, a part of the uterus might be menstruating. Few days later, another part might be menstruating, so it will lead to menstrual irregularity. So this genetic condition predisposes women to menstrual irregularity. Another predisposing factor, which is also a genetic condition, is known as polycystic ovarian syndrome. What is the meaning of polycystic ovarian syndrome? It means that the ovaries that are responsible for production of the egg or ova has a collection of fluid in them, and this collection of fluid will predispose the woman to have high levels of testosterone. High levels of testosterone automatically suppresses the function of estrogen and progesterone, meaning that with the suppression of estrogen and progesterone, the woman may not experience ovulation and subsequently menstruation, which will lead to menstrual irregularity. So genetic conditions such as double uterus or polycystic ovarian syndrome can predispose a woman to menstrual irregularities. Another cause of menstrual irregularity is the usage of certain drugs such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, women who are on chemotherapy, women who use antidepressants. All this can predispose a woman to menstrual irregularities. So if you are experiencing menstrual irregularity, find out or check if you are using any of these drugs, and you might need to say it to your physician or your doctor. Uterine mass such as fibroids can predispose a woman to menstrual irregularity. This is because fibroids can make a woman's menstrual flow to be heavier, and it can also make the flow to last longer than the usual. It can even last longer than 7 days and can last above the normal average flow of a woman during her menstrual period. We have looked at what menstrual irregularities are: periods that occur more frequently that are lesser than 21 days, or more frequently that are greater than 35 days. Periods that are heavier in flow are periods that are lighter in flow. Then we have talked about the causes of menstrual irregularities, which we said you can be pregnant, you might be breastfeeding, a woman in her premenopausal state, infections can cause it, then genetic conditions, even stress and fluctuations in weight. Have you discovered any of your cause? Do you want to talk to someone about it? We are here, and you can also let your physician know what you feel about your cause. If you have found this video beneficial, do not forget to drop your comments in the comment section. Give us a thumbs up, and above all, please share our video. This is me saying thank you to you for watching this video to the end. Keep following us on Body Gist while we keep giving you healthy gist. I remain Sister Ozo Augusta.